Buddy, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the Pot at the Palace post-game show. I'm Curtis Wilkerson. I'm in Madison Square Garden. This is Andrew Ellis. He is not at Madison Square Garden, but I wish he was because this was just awesome, man. Awesome. Arkansas wins this game 89-87. They trail by 15, so it just makes the field of 68's, stat that they threw out there about Calipari and his, being down by 16 at time stuff. It just looks a little bit more stupid than it did in the first place. Arkansas races a 15-point deficit. They get up by 18. They blow it, but they win the game. So there you go. Man, this was incredible. The atmosphere, it was loud. Ton of Razorback fans, ton of Michigan fans. People always do that cliche thing, Andrew, where they're like, oh, this feels like a 4 versus 5 seed in the round of 32. It did. That was the atmosphere in here. Incredible turnout by the Razorback fans, and both teams look like NCAA tournament teams. Really, really good stuff. And I'm going to preface this right now. They're already trying to run people out of here. We're going to take this as long as we possibly can. They're going to drag my carcass out of here before I stop this show early. We're going to do the best we can. All right, Andrew, what do you think, buddy?
Curtis, it looked like an awesome atmosphere. I wish I were there, and you can be honest. You wish I was there just because you love me. I'm your guy, and you need me. You need me. I'm your Robin. You need a Robin every now and then. Well, Curtis, I'm gonna have a hard time beating the Sunshine Pumper allegations. I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to nitpick this game and kind of point out the fact that Arkansas looked very shaky down the stretch. I actually had a couple of my best friends who bet Arkansas money line who were like heating me up there in the final few minutes, like, Andrew, they better not blow this, which, they didn't, thank God. But Curtis, you ain't going to get any of that nitpicking from me. I'm going to impose the 24-hour rule. Look, we'll get back in the film room tomorrow. We'll look at what this team needs to clean up. We'll talk. We'll meet with our position groups. We'll do what we got to do. But we're celebrating the night. Arkansas is a good basketball team. Are they a finished product? Hell no. Do they have things to work on? Of course they do. But Curtis, they came up. They did what we asked them to do. We said, please, this afternoon. We really wanted to see this kind of performance. And again, it's not like we were setting the bar like, hey, you gotta be a finished product. You got to do all this. We just wanted to see Arkansas rise to the occasion in a big time setting against a good team. Make no mistake, that's a really good team, man. That's a solid Michigan team. Yeah. Like I can't be making fun of old Dusty May too much anymore. And Curtis, you know what I learned tonight? Arkansas's got them a front court. They have a front court. Now, look, did they get their ass busted? Of course they did. That Danny Wolf kid is nasty. Vlad Golden, that's a bad boy too. Michigan has an elite front court, and that's the type of team that if you don't have a legitimate front court, if you have question marks, which frankly, many points throughout the season, I've wondered, does Arkansas really have enough in the front court? Can't say enough about Trevin Brazile for stepping up huge in this matchup. Jonas Adu had more and more flashes. Still not a finished product for him. He's still working his way back. He's going to have better days. But I thought he had some really big moments. You know what he was in this game, Curtis? He was big. He was physical. Yeah. Arkansas needed that presence a lot. Big Z is also still kind of working his way back from injury. He knocked down a huge 3 in the first half that I felt like when he knocked down that 3, that's when you kind of felt like, all right, Arkansas really might do this thing. And there will be better matchups for him down the stretch, of course. But and of course, Adu Thiero, who was under the weather. They were managing his minutes, trying to get him any rest they could. I just look, that's the type of game that I don't know if I thought Arkansas would have been capable of winning a couple of weeks ago. I would have wondered, could they do that? They did it against a real team. That's going to help the resume. That's going to help get you some respect nationally. And it'll help this fan base exhale a little bit, which they should. We don't have to play the Arkansas NCAA tournament team game anymore. That was a nice welcome to the season, Arkansas Razorbacks. Happy to see you.
If a fan base ever needed something positive to happen, it was Arkansas's tonight, man. Had that last play gone a little bit differently, and Michigan, hits a game-winning 3. This I've been worried about, folks, man. They would have been in shambles, but it didn't. So just a huge win, man. They needed that. Quad 1, got the notch on the resume, the first signature win of the John Calipari era. And it's kind of like we talked about on Inside Arkansas Live, man. It just makes people shut the hell up about Cal and the Razorbacks for a little while. You can't say anything about them until SEC play now, unless they blow it, against one of these mid-major teams coming up. I don't think they're going to do that. But they needed that. And it was just some validation, man. Like you spent this entire offseason, building this roster. We knew Arkansas had a ton of NIL, a ton of talent, and they just hadn't passed the eye test. They hadn't looked the part. Even if they would have lost this game, I would have felt like they passed the eye test. I would have felt like they looked the part because they were up for the challenge in this one. But, buddy, it's a lot easier to sell that when you win. And I don't care if it's ugly. It was just the perfect combination of of chaos and excitement and everything that you want in a basketball game. And we can talk about the collapse. We could also talk about how they weathered the storm in the first half when it could have been, it could have been lights out from there. They could have folded and lost this game by 30, but they didn't. They could have folded and lost this game at the very end, but they didn't. So kudos to them, man. You mentioned the front court. I'm happy, Andrew, for Trevin Brazile. I'm happy for him, man. He just looked comfortable. He looked healthy, played so physical in there. He finally shot a three and made it. And he showed a lot of mental toughness there because those are two critical missed free throws. And that's something when you've, showed a little mental weakness in the past, that can turn into something bad. But man, he sprinted back down the floor, came up with a huge block on the defensive end, only split the free throws, whatever. He overcame that play, and Arkansas overcame a lot of plays. So, Jonas Adu continues to take steps forward, and he's only going to continue to get better. He's not 100% yet, nowhere close, but was good to see, man. And then, the guards, I tweeted it out. DJ Wagner, Boogie Fland, and John L. Davis started the game 2 for 11, and with 4 points between the three of them, and that's when Arkansas is just falling behind. And I'm like, man, this is not good. But then you look up at the end of the night, Boogie was not efficient from the field, 6 of 18, but man, he was clutch. 20 points, 7 assists, and only 2 turnovers in this game. DJ Wagner was unconscious in the second half. They couldn't guard him, couldn't keep him in front. And as soon as I was getting ready to tweet that out saying he just needs to drive every time, then he hits a couple threes, 3J Wagner. He doesn't care about Michigan's zone defense. So really, really impressive. And then, Nelly Davis didn't do his what was growing into a pattern for him where he would go off in the second half. But you know what? He had a huge ass and one late in that game. And should it have been one? No, who cares? Sometimes Arkansas is going to get a whistle. That's okay. We'll take it.
Absolutely. Curtis, this is the type of game I think both teams got better. This is just the type of atmosphere. You mentioned the atmosphere, how it felt like an NCAA tournament game. What better way to prepare you for the games that you're going to hopefully be in March than facing a real team like that? So many different guys had to step up. I mean, you just ran through a little bit of the list right there. I thought Boogie Fland, for his inefficiency, I thought he looked awesome. I finished with 7 assists again. Another quiet 7-assist game. He was in attack mode. He wanted to show out in front of his family. Good for him playing in the Bronx, getting, what he had, 30, 40 people there. DJ, the first 3 he took in the game was a 30-footer. Just nothing but net, dude. It was crazy. His confidence. He just does this thing where sometimes he looks like he's invisible out there and you kind of forget he's out there. I thought in the first half, I wasn't impressed with DJ's minutes at all. Then again, it seemed like he kind of felt like he needed to step up in the second half. He had a stretch there for 3 minutes. He was unguardable. He's the best player on the floor. Nelly, of course, his Klay Thompson role was a little bit, what wasn't great tonight. I thought he was a little bit tight, and he also came out super aggressive. I kind of liked the shots he was taking earlier. He had that pull-up jumper where I was like, oh, hell yeah, brick. Looked horrible. But I think it was like backboard and rim, one of those. But again, you're not always going to have everyone firing on all cylinders. I mean, Adu Thero gave his heart out, but I mean, he clearly wasn't the best version of himself, especially on the defensive end. I just feel like this is the type of game. You mentioned how they had to weather the storm. You have to dig deep early. You get a big lead. You kind of feel like you're gelling. All of a sudden, we okay? They kicking you out of there?
They're taking the power strips, but I don't need it to finish this. We're good. Sorry, you're good.
Well, again, you dig deep early. You have to weather that storm. You get up big. That's another thing that helps your squad gel a little bit. Then you have to really nut up down the stretch and get some stops on the defensive end. Find a way to get to the free throw line. Trevin Brazile, who misses both, then comes up with the freaking play of the game, the huge block, knocks down a free throw on the other end. I mean, just so many different things had to happen for Arkansas to win tonight. I don't know how you don't come out of that game feeling a little bit closer as a squad, looking to the guys you just went into battle with, and you're like, you know what? We can win with these dudes. I felt like this team enjoyed playing with each other. My favorite play of the game, though, Curtis, Cheddar, the kid, number 42 for Michigan, gives Boogie Fland a little bit of a bump. And DJ Wagner comes up and gives him a little shoulder drive. You get the double technicals. That's the kind of stuff you just love to see. I felt like this team got a lot better. This was a step forward tonight. And I felt like, again, they feel a lot more like a team now. You're starting to kind of see the makings of it all coming together. The team that we thought we were getting preseason. Sure, John L. Davis could be better. We thought he'd be better. Jonas Adu looks a little bit more like the Jonas Adu we thought we were getting. Again, far from a finished product, but That's what we've been asking for. We want to see signs of progress. We want to see that this team is headed in the right direction. I feel like we got that for sure tonight, and you got a nice little chip on the little chip on the resume.
I've got the background noise like that turned down on my microphone. I don't know if you guys could hear that little roar in the background. Boogie Flan just walked out from the locker room to I mean, he said he was going to have like 40 family and friends and everything. It might be more than that. I mean, it's a whole section of folks who are cheering him on, and he's over there celebrating with them now. It's really, really cool to see that. I heard the uproar, and I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? This is crazy. But that's exactly what that was. So, yeah, very cool for him to do that here at home, like in front of friends, family, former teammates. That's awesome. John L. Davis wasn't his best, but you know what? He is 1-0 against his former coach and his former teammates. So things you love to see. Yeah, you mentioned the DJ Wagner taking up for his teammate. I liked one play where Jonas Adu got an offensive foul, but he got pissed off in there at Vlad Golden. He dropped a shoulder on him. That's physicality. It's toughness. They were playing with a little bit of edge, and they were playing for each other, man. And that's signs of coming together as a team, like you mentioned. That's really important, and it's good to see. They were up for the challenge, and they responded in the spotlight, which they have not done up to this point. So really, really happy to see that there with Arkansas. And, man, I cannot get over the atmosphere. I mean, it was electric in here. It really was. It was unbelievable. So loud, so intense. And, man, it's just I'm happy that Arkansas put on a good show for the fan base, all the people who traveled out here to see this, and they'll have a happy flight home. It's good stuff.
Dude, shout out to all the fans who made the trip. I was watching it with Hillary, and she was like, you really think they're going to be Hog fans up there in New York? Like, how many could there really be? And obviously not everyone there lives in New York. But shout out to the Hog fans who are in New York. Our guy Razorback in NYC, I'm sure he was there. But again, you said your flight was full this morning of people going up there. I'm sure not everybody was going to the game, but just awesome, man. It's, this is potentially a once in a lifetime opportunity to watch your team in Madison Square Garden. And again, watching it on TV, just watching it here with all the other peasants, it felt like a big event. It felt kind of like a Champions Classic type of thing. Watched a little bit of the Tennessee game earlier. It had a little bit of that same buzz. I mean, you got Billis on the call. It's just one of those things. By the way, Carl, you might not, I mean, I'm sure you saw him because he's a large human being, but they brought in Carl Anthony Towns in the halftime show. He was talking about Coach Cal and Boogie Flan, and it was just cool. Again, this is the kind of thing that we wanted whenever they announced they were hiring Coach Cal. This is what you envisioned. You being on this massive stage, you being here in Madison Square Garden, and for Arkansas to finally, for the first time this season, rise to the occasion and be awesome in this moment. It's just awesome to see. Curtis, before we move on to the chat, I just want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Carter Knox, who I don't know how many minutes he ended up playing. Stab broadcast shut down. I don't know if it's shut down for you, but it just completely crashed on me. So I don't have the normal access to all the stats and all that. What do you play, 9 minutes or something like that?
I've got the secret sauce here, man. I had the secret password to the secret
Carter Knox
stats.
Play tonight?
Carter Knox he played 12 minutes and 41 seconds.
What was it plus minus? Is it looking good? No?
-2, but
okay, I'll take it. I'll live with it. But he hits a massive three.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest shot he's made in his Arkansas career so far, that left wing three. Then he gets the and one where he missed the and one opportunity. But I mean, 5 points, two baskets there on his only 2 shot attempts. Again, you're not going to need a ton out of these freshman guards. I felt like, or really just freshmen in general outside of Boogie Flan, obviously, you need him to be good. But we've kind of been saying that for a while now. I feel vindicated saying hey, you don't need 25 minutes from Carter Knox and 24 minutes from Billy Richmond or anything like that. You just need a little bit of a spark. I felt like Carter Knox did that. And we talked about them being a team and them kind of all buying in. Carter Knox was one of the guys, every time the camera panned to the bench, you just saw him either waving a towel, hyping up his teammates, really hyped up. Cash Chavis, shout out to him. He seemed like he was bringing the energy as well. It just felt like a team that was having fun. I thought both teams had a lot of fun as well. Like Michigan, they were super into it as well.
Oh, yeah.
It just had a very intense atmosphere to it. You could tell there was a lot of passion on both sides, and that's just the type of environment you want to be in, and it's the type of environment that your team can really grow and find out who they are. And I feel like Arkansas found out who they are tonight in a way. They're a pretty damn good basketball team.
Yeah, that was good to see, man. Just a quad 1 win. That's going to be loom large for the resume. When we were doing our preseason predictions, Andrew, we kind of both had Arkansas maybe, like if they can go 2-2 in those 4, kind of marquee games in the non-conference and then not have a slip up. So they still got a few more games that you feel really good about where they're at going into SEC play. This is a huge one for them, man. It's a big one for them. I think it's going to get them back in the top 25 next week. And does that matter right now? Yeah, a little bit. I think it does because perception does matter, especially when this is something that this program's been struggling with under John Calipari for whatever reason, like whatever the narratives are. And so you quiet that a little bit here, which was really good to see, man. And I do want to get into some chats real quick because I don't know, we might be at like our 5-minute warning here because they're tearing everything up and they're looking at me sideways.
Every time I'm talking, I see you looking around. I'm like, oh God, someone's got a gun. They're kicking them out of there.
Yeah, no, I'm watching them because they're pulling up the power strips and everything and kind of breaking down. They just haven't made their way to my table yet. And when they do, we'll wrap it up here pretty quick. But I want to get to these super chats for sure because I really do appreciate them. And appreciate everybody tuning in because it's almost midnight here. So I guess it's almost 11 there. Is that how it works? Do I have my,
that is how the math would work Eastern Central. Yes.
Okay. Sharkensaw, thank you just for the super chat. And then also thank you for doing it again and having a comment. He says, incredible atmosphere, rivaled the Gonzaga game. I would say the atmosphere was better than that Sweet 16 game. Team is getting better, headed back to the hotel. Enjoy that. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, a lot of people had a lot of people taking cryptic pictures of me over here and sending them to me, which is weird, but I appreciate it. But yeah, it was just an awesome atmosphere, and it did, man. It felt like an NCAA tournament game for sure. And then real quick from Jeremy, $9.99. Appreciate you, brother. I wish you had something cool to say, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Sometimes people are just happy when they're happy after something good happens for this fan base for the first time and. Man, what feels like a while with everything going on. The transfer portal season will take a lot out of you, man. A couple of days feels like a couple of years, and then you're just in a giving mood. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get into just a couple more chats here, and then we'll wrap it up. How cool would it be though if we were live and I just got like escorted out of here?
I really thought that was happening like 7 minutes in whenever they were coming to pick up those power strips. Another super chat, by the way, just pulled in. We got to get to our guy, Petrino Durrell, attorney at law. I'll worry about the football nonsense in August. We have us a basketball team. Hey, it's the right mentality. Mentality.
I like that a lot. You do have yourself a basketball team. So what's Arkansas up to? Is it 7-2 or 8-2? 8-2 now?
I think both teams are now 8-2.
Okay. I like that. I'll take it. Michigan's going to be just fine, man. They're really good. They might win the Big Ten.
They're way better than I thought they were. Like, that's what's weird about this. I kind of thought that Arkansas was going to like expose an overrated Michigan team, and maybe they are to an extent. But that they are better than I thought, and so Arkansas coming away with this win is pretty massive.
No doubt about it. Just a handful of chats here. Razorback Rick says Nelly will be our secret weapon when he wakes up. Look out. Yeah, if that happens, like if it clicks for him consistently, absolutely. I still believe that he's going to be more than the Klay Thompson role, like you say, at some point here. And when that happens, that'll be a good thing for Arkansas. Jacob Clemens says they did pass the eye test. Yes. God, that was bad for my heart, though. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. You and me both. Kim McElroy says, so happy the crowd showed up tonight. The announcers keep talking about it. Good. I'm glad that they did because it was awesome.
They had a funny line where they were like, when Arkansas fans are here, you don't have to say, hey, where are the Arkansas fans? Have they shown up? Like, you usually tell the party comes with them. There were a lot of hilarious fans they showed on TV.
I like that. I like it a lot. John Ham says, in an interview with SVP after the game, Cal owned his mistakes of directing TB to get the inbound when they were fouling. I was pissed when that happened, but love that Cal owned it. Yeah, that's good. That's good that he owned up to some things. There were a couple questions that I had that I would have liked to got down there and ask, but they won, so I'm not going to nitpick. But he consistently says like Arkansas has to learn how to win. This is one of those examples. Like they still have a lot of work to do in terms of closing out games, executing down the stretch, finding a balance between like milking the clock and playing the possession game versus, not sacrificing being aggressive and getting downhill in an attack mode, which is how they built that 18-point lead up in the first place, which was good. So yeah, still some work to do there. No doubt about it. Also, John L. Davis is out here now celebrating with family. Looks like, yeah, a bunch of people over there. And looks like maybe is Dusty May over there. I can't tell. Yeah, he might be.
He was getting shots up. I thought he was a real hooper, real grinder, but
he's not about that life. Not tonight. When they get back to Fayetteville, he'll be on that NOAA shot tracker. He's got to work on that arc. It's a little bit flat. It looked like 41, 42 instead of 45 to me. So
well, you can't get shots up here because it doesn't count for the NOAA tally. I mean, if they're going to be tracking your shots, you got to get them all up in that one facility.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Ben Zimmerman says important stat: DJ Wagner's teams are 16-1 when he scores in double figures. That is impressive. I
I'm
didn't
not
know
going to
that.
fact check it. I'm just going to believe it.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie Shepard says, how many 4-5 and 5-4 pick and rolls will they see all year? That's a heck of a team in Michigan. What a dub. And everyone had their hands on it. Yes, that is 1,000% true. That's what makes, well, Michigan's very good. I don't want to take anything away from them. But part of what makes them so good is that's just teams don't do that. They don't have a 7-footer who handles it in ball screens and can be a playmaker like he can. Arkansas is trying to switch it all early. And then they stopped doing that. They mixed up coverages. They mixed up matchups. And they really didn't have a great answer for it outside of that segment where they started to pull away a little bit. And for a good stretch of that, Wolf wasn't on the floor. But when Michigan was making their rally down the stretch, that dude was just he had his hands on every bit of that, including a bunch of offensive rebounds on free throws, which is driving me freaking nuts. But whatever. We said 24-hour rule. So, hey, I'm done.
By the way, Cal said when they came back for the second half, the sideline reporter said that Cal said they were switching too much in the first half, which like with those two bigs is like, I don't even know how, like, I don't even know how you prep for that. I don't even know how you have a plan. And again, thankfully, it's something Arkansas is not going to have to worry about for hopefully ever.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I mean, I was concerned about it coming into the game, and well, I'm glad that I was, because I was right. That was a big deal. As soon as they said Thero was under the weather, I was like, oh man, because I just felt like that was such a key to the matchup.
He's like the antidote for that, where it's like if you have your peak locked in a Thero and he's blowing up ball screens and he's just like active, he wasn't really able to do that at full force tonight at all. Which no shame.
For sure. Do we have a few more super chats in here? Is that what I'm seeing?
They're starting to pop in a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure if we pulled this one up or not, but thank you again, Brian Matthew Deaver Ryan for the Bucks. But if you have something to say it. Get it off your chest. This is a guaranteed way to have your voice heard. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see what else we got. From Nick, I can't remember if we pulled this one up or not, but he says, I get why we've all been down on this team, but folks need to realize it's early. Believe in Cal. It is early. We just need to see some proof of concept like that. It's always early. Teams are always going to improve, or you think they can. We know about Arkansas's potential, but we needed to see them look the part. Like they just hadn't passed the eye test. What about any game that we've watched so far, aside from Maryland Eastern Shore, have we seen and been like, oh yeah, these guys get it. Like they're going to be fine. I haven't been able to feel that way, but I do now. Now I can say that and have something to back it up with. Arkansas is going to be fine. I'm not worried about them. Stay healthy, continue to improve, plenty to work on. But they showed what they're capable of tonight, and they did it in a winning effort. It's good to see.
Well, you just don't get to play you've sucked against all the good teams, because even if Arkansas had come up short, like fought hard and played well and came up short, people still would be able to point to that and be like, well, you kind of suck every time you play a good team. So thankfully you got that monkey off your back a little bit. And yeah, it's a lot easier to buy into all those narratives once you have one like this to hang your hat on.
Yeah. And I was thinking about, on Bet Saracen, where they'll do like the random prop every game I've seen. It's like, Arkansas, leads by as many as 12 and then trails by as many as 10 in the game or whatever. People could have cashed on that so hard. I don't know what it was for this game, but if anybody took that, they would have cashed on it so hard.
Yeah.
Game of runs. It was unbelievable. Just, man, that was a lot of fun. I needed that. And honestly, I was fully prepared. Like if Arkansas would have missed that, or if Michigan would have hit that shot to win the game, I was going to come on here and do my Taylor Swift bit. I really was.
Your Taylor Swift bit?
Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
Wow.
Because every time I go to these things, it ends poorly. And I saw a lot of people saying, Curtis, the curse is broken. Yes, it is. Okay. I needed that. It's been in my head. It's been in my head.
Yeah.
And then I was going to have to consider, do I go to the NCAA tournament? What are we going to do? Like, do I even get to go to Lexington? Is it just going to be John and Andrew? Because I don't want to give them a freaking L automatically. Now I don't have to worry about that. So from a personal standpoint, I feel pretty good about this. I needed it.
We would have been trying to sneak one by, like send you like Baton Rouge or some shit, trying to get you just like a random road game to try and get the monkey off your back.
You guys are going to give me
this week.
Maybe I will. Yeah. You guys are going to give me a slump buster is what it was. And everybody has them, it's okay. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to deal with it. Mine just happened to be at Madison Square Garden. I'll take it. Nick says, more importantly, suck it, Cats fans. Yeah, that's another reason why Arkansas needed this, man, because they got that big comeback win from against Gonzaga that just generated so much. That was all the consternation about the 16-point halftime deficits and everything. Cal does something against a similarly ranked opponent on a big stage, and then, in very similar fashion. So great. Good job.
But Curtis, would you agree a 16-point comeback is better than a 15-point comeback? Absolutely. Curtis is chewing someone out as we speak. Would you agree, though, that a 16-point comeback is still more impressive than a 15-point comeback?
I'm not agreeing to anything. Here's what I'm more impressed with what Arkansas did, no matter what. That's all. Yeah. That's all I'm going with here. You got Brock Melvin says nothing. Okay, I love these, man.
Then he followed it up. Hey, he did follow it up though with the
okay,
nice little,
good.
There we go. Which, by the way, Adu being healthy is huge. Yes, it very much is, literally and figuratively. Also, Brian also followed up with his own with a message after you.
I don't know if you guys are doing this on purpose or by mistake, but we appreciate it the same, no matter what. Thank you.
Maybe there's a glitch on our YouTube where it's just double in every payment, which if it is, we'll have our IT guy look into it so that stops happening for sure.
That's 100% a YouTube issue and not us. We're not stealing your money. What did he say here? Oh, best game so far, beginning of the next level for us, best game of the season, turned a corner. It sure felt that way. Hopefully all those things are true. We tried to sell that a little bit after the Miami game. Miami stinks. I sit here and watch, and they gave Tennessee a better game than I thought they would, but there was no juice in this building. Tennessee's up big. They just kind of let their foot off the gas. Miami made it semi-interesting. It was nothing compared to what we just witnessed in terms of atmosphere. And, like Arkansas, they played horribly there. And then they played pretty good in the second half and came back and beat a bad team. We're like, hey, you never know. Like, you got to start somewhere. And, like whatever. I'm glad that we tried to do that. This was the one. This was the moment.
100%. But you could make the argument, Curtis, that it all started in that second half, which, by the way, on Twitter, I pointed out Tennessee and Miami 37-37 in the first or in the second half. Arkansas outscored Miami 44-33. So if you do the numbers, that combined with tonight, Arkansas's going all the way.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot, man. Man. Okay. Any other? I need to look at some of these chats.
We just got one more. We got one more super chat that just popped in. Every time we start getting to the bottom of the barrel, someone comes in. Shout out to Matty Ice. He said, "This is for the Thero one-handed rebound." That was an awesome rebound, and also, I think he jumped and then floated on top of that guy, and then somehow, I don't think the guy was under him when he jumped. I think he somehow worked his way. But hey, he gets that rebound. There were a lot of loose balls, a lot of physical plays, and I will say a lot of them went toward Arkansas. Anytime there was two guys going for a ball, it felt like Arkansas came up with it. It's the stuff you love to see, but there was also a lot of there was 7 reviews down the stretch. The pace of play was a little bit tough. It was there was 2 minutes left at 9:59.
Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy. I mean, it came to a point in time where Arkansas was struggling so much with that pick and roll action that it was a foul pretty much every single possession. And then if it wasn't a foul, it was a review, and it just lasted forever. I saw a bunch of people saying that Jay Billis was getting really pissed about all the stoppages and everything. I guess he had somewhere to be. He might have had a hot date or something.
He also went on the rant about how when they knock it off someone's hand and then it tips their fingertips, he's like, for the first 38 minutes, that's Michigan ball. For the last 100 years of basketball, and by the way, he's right. But I was not going to complain whenever it may or may not have helped Arkansas steal the game.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. I want to pull this up real quick. Zach Religious says they're about to drop 100 on UCA. They should do that, and it's going to be an awesome atmosphere there in North Little Rock. It always is for that game. It's always a really good time going down there. Avoid the letdown spot, right? Big emotional win, Madison Square Garden. Place is absolutely nuts. Now you got to go back home. They're probably not going to practice tomorrow. They'll be light on Thursday. They'll travel down there Friday. It's always weird in Simmons Bank Arena on Saturday. Don't do that. Just don't do it. Go down there, take care of business, win by 20 or whatever, and go back home. Take your finals, be done with it.
They go ahead and put belt to ass on UCA. I don't even care. I don't know anything about UCA. I'm sure they're bad. I don't care if they beat them thoroughly and they play well in the first half even, they go as far as to do that. We make the real case that they have turned the corner, that the Miami game was the start, and there you go.
Yes, sir. Just do a couple more, and then I really am going to get out of here. I feel
What time are
bad,
you on TV?
but then
Are you
again,
going
I
to be on
don't.
TV in like 10 minutes?
Yeah, I actually don't know. It's like a pre-recorded deal, and I don't know if I have the questions yet or not that I have to answer. So
you don't need the questions. You're off the dome. You're good.
Yeah, exactly. I just say what I want. Send it to them. Play it on air. Let's see. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, it was, man. It was Bud Walton East. I liked it. I mean, there must have been. I'm always really bad at estimates of this kind of thing, but like 5,000 Razorback fans. I mean, it was pretty darn impressive. I got to admit.
It seemed. I mean, dude, it looked awesome on TV. I don't know if they just forced them all down into the lower bowl, but like you could have talked me into it being a packed house. I know it actually wasn't, but it didn't look like there were empty seats like on TV. They did a good job of cutting it and angling it. There was this Hog fan that they kept showing who had a shirt that said, "I've always hated," with it like crossed out, and then it said like "loved Cal." They showed him at least 37 times.
I like that. I appreciate that a lot. Somebody asked if Michelle's just playing. Here we go. Michelle just playing solitaire in the bleachers somewhere right now, eating popcorn. No, she's at a bar. She came to the game. She brought a friend, a native New Yorker, who I'm pretty sure was taught how to call the Hogs and participated in that. So that makes me very happy. But yeah, I gotta catch up with her. We still have it's like a 45-minute train ride back to back to her folks' place. So that'll be a lot of fun. I wonder what that experience is going to be like at 1 o'clock in the morning down here. So
yeah,
maybe I'll go live.
We'll send some prayers your way. When Michelle gets in her stomping grounds, does she like dig deep into the New York accent? Is she like, hey?
She not as much as she used to, but I've noticed it a little bit here, especially like when her and her friend were together. And we were just kind of walking around, taking in some of the sights before the game. And I was like, oh, haven't heard that come out of your mouth in a while.
Walking here.
Yeah. Well, that's what she really does. She calls it getting her New York on. She's just like bodying people, shouldering people off the road. And everybody's moving so fast. And I'm just like, what's going on? I'm a laid back guy, man. There's too many damn people. It's too fast down here for me, man. I need to take a deep breath sometimes. Exhale a little bit.
Important super chat just came in from our boy, Jordan, a.k.a. Chef Boyar Lee. First round on me today, boys. Well, they're going to have to all go to Curtis. I did not think I will be enjoying any rounds, but we appreciate that. That's huge. I
will buy you a beer, Andrew, when we get back together. Don't you worry.
Okay, I'm sure you will. You're good about doing that. Also, Brock Melvin didn't send us $20. Just kidding. Time to pack Bud Walton for the boys. Yeah, it's time. Now that we've confirmed the team is good, can we fix the attendance? You think?
I hope so. I mean, I think that probably excited people. By the way, I just saw Norlander tweet this out. John Calipari opens his post-game press conference by walking into the media room while on speakerphone with Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, what a legend. You don't have to name drop if you're on the phone with the guy. Hey, sorry, Cat, I'll call you later, man. I'll call you later. Hey, tell John I said okay. Yeah, he's dealing.
He should have just brought him in there, just brought him in and set him down right beside him. And he could have explained whatever that comment was about the blank CD. And
yeah, dude, that was hilarious. Also, you think Karl Anthony Towns stuck around for postgame? I think that's why they're on the phone. He dipped out of there quick. He probably left after his spot on ESPN.
I thought he was going to be in here getting shots up, but they broke down the goals already, and they're pulling up the Jimmy V Classic floor because they got to put it back to the Knicks or the hockey rink or whatever it is they're doing.
I was noticing there wasn't normally when you're playing at an NBA arena, you got like the NBA line and the college line. It's complete wood, a complete refurbished wood. So there was only just the one line. It made it a lot easier on my eyes to notice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool watching them kind of tear this stuff up now. Nice. Okay, I got to get out of here.
We thought you were getting kicked out. We're like, we're just rambling now.
I know. I am going to get out of here. Dang, I might be one of the last ones in Madison Square Garden. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I legit as soon as we started, there was no turning back. We were already live, and I'm on like the fourth row of the press tables here, and they're just breaking down all the other ones, and they're looking up at me, and then one guy's like trying to motion at me, and I was like, oh damn, man, here we go. But he was just asking about the power strip. I'm like, take the power strip, bro. Take the power strip. Don't take my power. of talking to the people. That's all. Anyway, appreciate you hopping on with me, brother. It's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, look, after a game like that, of course. I mean, if they had actually gotten walloped, I might have went to sleep. But
we would have definitely been done after about 15 if they would have lost that game.
Yeah, it would have been quick.
Just sit here, let the chats pile up, and take a deep breath, and then get out of here. But anyway, appreciate all y'all. Thanks a lot. I mean, seriously, this is really cool. Like I said, I know it's a Tuesday night. It's late. People got work tomorrow, or people are celebrating, but so many people hopped on here and joined us just to enjoy it. There wasn't a shit ton of analysis tonight. We're just relishing in the moment, man. Big time spotlight. It gets no better than Madison Square Garden. Bucket list experience. I'm super grateful to have been down here. Super happy that Arkansas won, and shout out to Cal and the boys for getting a big one. Appreciate y'all. The report card will be out in the morning. I'm gonna try to record it in here. See what happens. One time I recorded a report card outside the Chase Center in San Francisco, and I caught a cop, or actually a person on cop assault in the background. I published that sucker. So if anything crazy happens, you guys are gonna know, because I'm not editing anything out. It's just gonna happen. And there we go. But no, seriously, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you get subscribed. If you're not subscribed already, please do that. I mean, we're going live all the time, and people are watching, and we appreciate it. But subscribe. Stay tapped in what we got going on inside Arkansas. Check out InsideArkansas.com. Check out the Bombastic podcast. Andrew Ellis has got that thing rolling a little bit, getting the baseball content going, because, again, Razorback fans, we get it. You just need a little bit of feel good. Basketball provided some finally tonight. Baseball is always going to provide that, so make sure you tap into that. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Andrew, my man, hold down the fort. I'll be home in a couple days.
Hell yeah.
See y'all. Everybody have a good one.